Here with Crystal, a registered dietitian at CNU Fit, and we shot a video a little bit back about protein, and we've been asked, well, how do you get it in? So before we even talk about all the stuff that's on the desk today, what I do want to do is talk about some of the challenges people have with protein, because we had mentioned that you want to get optimal amounts of protein in, and that optimal number varies from person to person. For a lot of people, it can be anywhere from 120 to 180, 200 grams of protein in, and 35 grams of protein is like 7 ounces of chicken. And that's not a lot, of protein, but I've had the challenge. I know I've heard stories of people saying, "Man, I can't eat all that food." So what's your response?
I think one of the biggest challenges, people don't utilize their snacks to get their protein in, because snacks you typically think something that's shelf stable: chips, cookies, crackers, pretzels. You got to think outside the box and think protein, because that's the opportunity. Because everyone can sit down to a meal and have their chicken, and sometimes that works pretty well, but it's filling in between that I feel is where you're really going to reach that protein goal, or utilizing convenience items to make a meal. So you have to kind of get things that are shelf stable but have a ton of protein, especially because we're so on the go. Everyone's busy, children, obligations. So these are some items here that we'll talk about that are high protein, shelf stable. Throw them in your bag and you can roll.
Absolutely. First one I want to talk about, and then we'll just go back and forth, you just pick whatever you like, is these lean body shakes. This is 17 ounces of fluid, but this has 40 grams of protein in there. So it gets a good amount of protein in. If you're a small person, maybe 120 pounds or less, you may just drink half of these at a time. But like my wife, she'll drink one of these and boom, 44 grams of proteins in, and she does that as for breakfast because she doesn't really like to eat breakfast. So it's super convenient, and the top, you can just screw on and off, so you can put it back in the fridge. But that's the lean body. Gives you a little bit of fat in there, so it helps with satiety, but it tastes super, super delicious. And it comes in vanilla, chocolate, strawberry, bunch of different flavors. So this is like one of the things that we sell here that our clients really like, but it really, really helps with getting the protein in. So that's the lean body RTD ready to drink shakes.
And to put that into perspective, that's about 6 eggs. And
Yeah.
A lot of people can't get that in, so that's a
yeah, that's really, that's about 8 ounces of chicken.
Yeah.
You're probably not going to eat that, at one time for most people. So that's a lean shake. What do you want to talk
One
about?
of my go-tos is Quest Bar. They are phenomenal. This one has 21 grams of protein, really low, really high fiber, really low net carbs. This is my absolute favorite flavor. I can heat it in the microwave for like 10 seconds. It gets nice and gooey, and they taste delicious. Ton of fiber, which is absolutely important because most people on average need about 38 grams. No one's getting that. This has 14 grams, so just shy of half your day's recommended intake. You can throw it in your purse, throw it in your diaper bag. I mean, it's perfect.
Super convenient.
And there's tons of flavors.
Yeah, there is. There's like tons of flavors. They keep on adding more and more flavors to their profile. Another thing that I really enjoy is just an old-fashioned shake. So I love the ISO 100. They just changed the packaging on it, but they have the company name is Dymatize, and they make what's called ISO 100. It's hydrolyzed whey protein. Basically, it's a whey isolate. It's the highest value of protein you can get in, to keep things really simple. But I love it because this protein is it's 25 grams of protein, 2 grams of carbs, 0.5 grams of fat, but it's very light. So for those that don't want to drink something that's heavy or want to mix something in it, for those who do like fruit shakes, you can do a scoop of this, get 25 grams of protein in there. Again, 25 grams of protein, that's 6 ounces of chicken. So about 5 to 6 ounces of chicken in there. So it's a really nice way to do it, and you can do it a couple times a day easily to get it in. It's fairly inexpensive way to get protein in as well. So, and it comes in chocolate fudge brownies, this flavor, vanilla is my favorite, banana, just they do flavors galore with any of these kind of protein products, but the quality of the protein is really high.
All right, I'll talk about the Ostrom. So essentially I tell people it's a glorified, nutritious Slim Jim. It's really just beef jerky. 90 calories, 14 grams of protein. So this is the equivalent of about 2 eggs. And they're delicious. This is the habanero flavor. It's not super spicy, but has a little bit of a kick to it. Again, it's so convenient. You can just throw it in your bag, eat it whenever you want.
And I mean, I tell you this, I think I got introduced to Ostrom's about a week before Crystal started, and I was thinking of getting it, and the first thing she was like, have you heard about Ostrom's? And I was like, I just heard about it last week. She's like, I get it all the time. And now we sell them here, and it's probably one of the number one selling products. They have the ones that's like the stick there, and they also have the flat jerky ones as well for those that don't want to do it. But again, another convenient way. That, some cheese, you have some Slim Jim cheese. You can even throw a cracker or some other fruit if you can. And then now that's a quick meal. Again, simple, super convenient in there. So that's awesome. It's a great product. I'm going to go to the Mighty Muffins. I love these things. One, it gives you, this is like a little meal in a container. It's 20 grams of protein. It gives you 22 grams of carbs. Of those 22 grams of carbs, 5 of it is fiber. So again, going towards the fiber goal. But you put it in the microwave with about a quarter cup of water for about 55 seconds, and you have a muffin. I mean, this one has chocolate chips in there and peanut butter chips in there. So super delicious. Again, hyper convenient. So for those who say I need something quick, if you have 55 seconds, you can get in protein, 20 grams, really easy.
All right, I'll go with the Quest Protein. Same company as the Quest bars. It's one of my favorite companies. They've got a ton of products. This is a protein shake, just like Evans was talking about his other protein shake. This has 22 grams of protein, 1 gram of sugar. One of the gold standards, as far as I'm concerned, is all protein shakes should have less than 6 grams of sugar, 1 gram or less is ideal, and at least 15 grams of protein. So this hits my marks for appropriate protein shakes. Yeah,
and the cool thing about that, really quick, is that it's individualized. So with the bigger shakes, I have to take a scoop in there. And with the scoop, I have to put that scoop, in like a Ziploc bag if I'm traveling. With those, I can travel just like that. So it's hyper convenient for those that are traveling. You just rip it open, put it in a shake, and they're so thin you can mix it with a fork, which is really, really cool. And the last thing I want to talk about is these wellness bars. And Body Key makes both wellness bars as well as protein bars and meal replacement bars. We sold out everything else, so I chose the wellness bars. But again, the wellness bars here, you have in there, this is more of a meal replacement, so this will really sub as a meal replacement. It only gives you 6 grams of protein in there, but it has way less sugar in it than like, what's the other popular bar that's like this? There's other like nutty bars that's like this out there, but they only have like 18 grams of sugar and things like that in there because people like the sweet. So this is one, this plus this is a meal. Because these two together now gives you 30 grams of protein or 30 grams of protein in there, 18 carbs and 12 fat. That's a full meal for someone, and that could be your morning snack, afternoon snack, nice and convenient. So, go ahead.
Kind bar.
Kind bar, yeah, that's the one with the sugar in it, or with the, So good memory.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to give you that, and again, this is weight isolate, 60% weight isolate as well. So it metabolizes very quickly. So hopefully this helps give you some value on things you can do to get your protein in and be creative with. I love how you said that, shelf stable. Say it again.
Shelf stable, convenient, maintainable.
And maintainable. You throw it in your bag and it's easy to go with. So. Good stuff. Hopefully it adds some value. Again, we're Evans and Crystal at CNU Fit. Feel free to go to our website for more resources or our Facebook page at CNU Fit.